break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On second down, Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Important extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A huge play there on the screen pass. 48 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Keep it skinny. Hey, Delta! Come on. Hey, hut!
He'll look to throw. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready? Left, left, left! Right! Beat hut! Beat hut!
He's back to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? Conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And this one is right through. And this home crowd is in a frenzy as their guys have pulled it out of the end. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.